What if your body is not a fixed form, but a flowing field? Not a machine made of muscle and bone, but an ever-changing symphony of light, energy, and intention. We've been taught to see our biology as destiny, our genes as scripts, our cells as silent, our flesh as fact. But what if none of that is truly real? What if the body is not a prison of the soul, but a living mirror of it? Modern science now whispers what ancient mystics always knew, that the body is not solid, it is vibrational. That healing does not begin with chemicals, but with consciousness. That your biology is not a boundary, it is an instrument, tuned by your awareness, your beliefs, your emotions. Quantum physics has dismantled the illusion of solidity. It reveals a world in which atoms are mostly empty space, and particles become real only when observed. Neuroscience shows us that the brain reshapes itself with every thought. Epigenetics proves that your genes are not commands, they are options, listening to the song of your perception. And your heart, it radiates an electromagnetic field larger than your brain. It beats not just with blood, but with memory, frequency, and emotion. You are not a passive inhabitant of your body. You are its composer. You are not here to survive in flesh, you are here to awaken through it. In this journey, we will explore the sacred mechanics of the quantum body. We will blend science and soul. We will rewrite the narrative. Because the body is not just a vessel, it is consciousness in motion, and it is listening. We begin with a single illusion, that your body is solid. You look in the mirror and see edges, skin, shape. You touch your arm and feel something dense, something real. But zoom in far enough, beyond skin, beyond cell, beyond molecule, and the illusion crumbles. What appears solid dissolves into space. What seems still is trembling with motion. Your body is not made of matter. It is made of energy dancing in form. Quantum physics tells us this, that every atom in your body is 99.999% empty space. The particles that make you, electrons, protons, neutrons, are not objects but oscillations, vibrations, possibilities. You are not a thing, you are a field. But not just any field. You are a conscious field, a self-aware pattern of information and energy. You are not simply in consciousness, you are consciousness expressing itself through a physical signature. You are not the sculpture, you are the sculptor shaping it, moment by moment. Deepak Chopra calls the body a process, not a structure. He reminds us that every cell in your body is replaced within months, your liver, your skin, even the cells of your bones. Yet something stays the same. Something remembers, something witnesses. That something is not in the body, it uses the body. From this view, your body is not fixed, it is fluid. Not an object, but a conversation. Every breath you take, every thought you think, sends information into the body's energetic field. Your biology is a canvas painted by your inner world. And what of your heart? That quiet engine of rhythm? It sends more information to the brain than the brain sends to it. It radiates an electromagnetic field detectable meters beyond your skin. It responds to love, fear, joy, and sorrow, not metaphorically, but electrically. This is where science meets the soul. The Vedas spoke of prana, life force, as the essence of being. Chinese medicine mapped meridians of energy long before nerves were discovered. And now, biofield science confirms the body emits, receives, and responds to frequency. You are not enclosed in your skin. You are a symphony playing beyond it. To heal, then, is not just to change the body. It is to tune the field, to align the frequency, to restore harmony to the orchestra of self. The body you see is a shadow. The real you is invisible, yet powerful. You are not a bag of bones and biochemistry. You are a current of consciousness flowing through form. And this form, this beautiful, trembling, intelligent vessel, responds not to force, but to frequency, not to command, but to coherence. Your body is not what you think it is. It is more intelligent, more fluid, more sacred, and it is listening. We were taught that DNA is our destiny, that genes are silent rulers etched in stone, commanding the body from a molecular throne. But what if the throne is empty? What if the ruler is not the gene, but the perception of the one who carries it? Dr. Bruce Lipton, pioneer of epigenetics, shattered the old model of genetic determinism. In his experiments, identical stem cells were placed into different environments and became different types of tissue. Same DNA, different outcome. Why? Because the cells weren't obeying a static script. They were responding to signals from their environment. And here's the revelation. Your thoughts, your beliefs, your emotions are your internal environment. Genes are not fate. They are potentials, switches, and those switches respond to your perception of reality. You are not locked into inherited patterns. You are constantly programming your biology through the lens of your belief. This is the biology of belief. If you believe you are weak, your cells behave as if you are. If you believe you are healing, your body begins to regenerate. If you live in fear, the chemical messengers of stress flood your system, weakening immunity, disrupting coherence. But if you live in love, gratitude, and purpose, your biology sings a different tune. This is not wishful thinking. It is biochemical truth. Your perceptions create cascades of hormones, neuropeptides, and electrical signals that shape the behavior of every cell. Cortisol tells your body to brace for threat. Oxytocin tells it to relax, to connect, to grow. You are not a passive recipient of your physiology. You are its author, moment to moment. Dr. Joe Dispenza echoes this truth. In his work, people in altered states of meditation have been shown to shift their immune responses, reverse chronic illnesses, even downregulate cancer-related genes, not through medicine, through mental rehearsal, through elevated emotion, through belief anchored in experience. When you combine a clear intention with an elevated state, when your mind and heart enter coherence, you send a signal into the quantum field. That signal becomes biology. That signal becomes healing. That signal becomes you. Ancient wisdom knew this. Shamans, mystics, sages, they understood that the story you carry shapes the body you wear. The body does not just reflect physical input, it mirrors your inner truth. So what story are you telling your cells? Are you affirming your wholeness or rehearsing your wounds? Are you repeating the mantras of powerlessness or writing new ones of possibility? The placebo effect is proof that belief can heal. The nocebo effect reminds us that belief can also harm. Either way, the body listens. You are not a fixed code of chemicals and chromosomes. You are a living manuscript being rewritten with every breath, every thought, every emotion. And when you change the story, you change the signal. When you change the signal, you change the expression. And when you change the expression, the body becomes new. Biology is not your cage, it is your clay. It molds to the touch of your awareness. It reshapes itself in response to the frequency of your belief. This is the power of your consciousness. This is the biology of belief. There is an invisible brush moving through you, moment by moment, painting the contours of your brain, sketching the chemistry of your cells, tracing the signature of your identity. That brush is thought. Every thought you think sends a ripple through the neural fabric of your brain. Neurons fire, connections spark, circuits strengthen or dissolve. And over time, those thoughts become patterns, habits of mind etched into biology. This is not metaphor. This is neuroplasticity. The brain is not hardwired. It is soft clay, capable of rewiring itself in response to experience, focus, and intention. What you dwell on, you strengthen. What you ignore, you weaken. This is the law of Hebbian learning. Neurons that fire together, wire together. Dr. Joe Dispenza has built an entire model of healing around this principle. Through mental rehearsal and elevated emotion, individuals have retrained their brains to signal new chemistry to their bodies before the experience even occurs. They don't wait for healing, they become it. The quantum brain does not just react to reality, it creates it. In meditation, when you visualize the version of yourself who is healed, joyful, free, and you feel that version with intensity and clarity, You begin to signal the body as if that future is already real. The brain doesn't know the difference between a vividly imagined experience and a physical one. It begins to rewire, and the body responds. Why? Because thought is electrical, emotion is magnetic. Together, they create a coherent signal, a broadcast, a blueprint. This is not imagination, this is construction. Thoughts become brainwaves. Brainwaves become biochemical signals, and those signals sculpt the behavior of your immune system, your endocrine system, your very cells. When you repeat thoughts of fear, resentment, or lack, you wire the brain for stress. The amygdala becomes hyperactive. Cortisol floods the body. In this state, the body shuts down growth and repair. It prepares to survive, not to thrive. But when you elevate your emotional state through gratitude, love, inspiration, you shift into coherence. The brain and heart begin to speak the same language. Stress hormones decline. Healing hormones increase. The immune system awakens. The body begins to align with the vision you are holding. You are no longer trapped in your past. You are rehearsing a new future, one thought at a time. This is where science meets transformation, where the brain becomes a bridge between the quantum and the physical, where identity becomes a sculptor and intention becomes a chisel. Deepak Chopra reminds us, you are not your thoughts. You are the one who has them. But what you consistently think begins to shape what you become. So choose your thoughts as you would choose your ingredients. They are the architecture of your biology. They are the code beneath the surface of the skin. The quantum brain is a gateway, not to fantasy, but to form, and you hold the key. If the brain is the command center, the heart is the compass. Not merely a pump, not merely muscle, but a master transmitter, broadcasting rhythm, emotion, and truth into every cell of your being. The heart generates the largest electromagnetic field in the human body, 5,000 times stronger than the brain's. This field is not confined to your chest. It expands beyond your skin, interfacing with others, with your environment, and some say, with the quantum field itself. This is not philosophy, it is science. The HeartMath Institute has shown that the heart has its own intelligence, its own nervous system, its own memory, its own wisdom. It can sense before the brain, respond before the mind, and influence the entire body's physiology through what they call coherence. Coherence is the harmony between heart rhythms and brain waves. It is the state in which your emotional, mental, and physical systems move in sync, and it is the fertile ground in which healing grows. When you feel emotions like gratitude, love, compassion, or awe, your heart enters coherence. Your breath slows, your immune system strengthens, your brain synchronizes with the heart's rhythm. Hormones like DHEA rise, cortisol falls, and the body moves from defense into regeneration. But the reverse is also true. When you feel resentment, anxiety, or shame, the heart's rhythm becomes erratic. Coherence breaks. The body enters survival mode. Healing halts. Your body is not ignoring your emotions, it is echoing them. Dr. Joe Dispenza teaches that elevated emotion is the key to manifesting change. Not just thought alone, but thought married to heartfelt feeling. When intention and emotion align, you become a magnet. You tune your field to the frequency of the future you seek. Emotion is not just something you feel. It is information. It is instruction. It is the music your cells are dancing to. In ancient traditions, the heart was always the seat of the soul, not the brain. Egyptians weighed it against a feather. Mystics touched it to listen for truth. Now science confirms what spirit always knew. The heart is a generator of frequency, and frequency shapes form. Deepak Chopra once said, "The power of love is that without it, nothing truly heals." Love is not a sentiment, it is a state of coherence. Gratitude is not a nicety, it is a signal. Forgiveness is not weakness, it is biological liberation. So when you sit in silence, hand on heart, breathing with intention, know this: you are not being still, you are tuning your instrument. You are broadcasting coherence into the quantum fabric of your body, and your cells are listening. To heal is to harmonize. To transform is to tune. The brain may direct, but the heart remembers. and it remembers the language of wholeness. There comes a moment on this path, a subtle shift, when you stop chasing healing and start becoming it. You are no longer a passive recipient of your biology. You are no longer waiting for a pill, a protocol, or a prognosis to change your fate. You begin to see that the healer is not outside you. It is you, aligned with your own inner field. And that healing is not a reaction. It is a revelation of your true, coherent state. This is the birth of the quantum healer. The old model sees the body as a machine, separate parts, fixable components, isolated causes. But the quantum model speaks in frequency, in fields, in unity. It tells us the body is a flowing matrix of energy and information, inseparable from the consciousness that observes it. And it responds not to force, but to frequency. Not to prescription, but to perception. To become the quantum healer is to live with the awareness that your thoughts, your breath, your emotion, your stillness all carry charge. Each one sends a signal into your biofield. Each one instructs the body. Each one is a brushstroke on the canvas of your being. Dr. Bruce Lipton reminds us that environment shapes genetic expression. But what shapes your inner environment? Your beliefs, your focus, your stories, your state. And Joe Dispenza shows us how the combination of focused intention and elevated emotion creates coherence in the brain and heart. Coherence that spills into the field, alters chemistry, and reorders biology. This is not mysticism. This is measurable. This is embodiment. In this state, the body becomes an instrument, not just of survival, but of evolution. You begin to realize that each breath is a recalibration, each thought a waveform, each feeling a tuning fork. From this awareness, daily actions transform. Breathing becomes a ritual of alignment. Meditation becomes medicine. Gratitude becomes biochemical instruction. Movement becomes a dance with the invisible forces shaping form. The sacred merges with the scientific. The spiritual becomes cellular. Deepak Chopra speaks of the body as a verb, not a noun. A constant process of renewal, guided by invisible intelligence. You are not solid, you are symphonic. And that symphony plays in response to the conductor of your consciousness. To live as energy in motion is not to escape the body. It is to enter it fully, as presence, as power, as peace. It is to live knowing that healing is not something you seek. It is something you remember. Because at your core, before the trauma, before the diagnosis, before the identity, you are always whole. So return to that frequency, and the body will follow. You are not becoming the healer. You are remembering that you always were. Your body is not a mistake. It is not a machine. It is not your enemy. It is a living testament to consciousness made visible, a sacred geometry of breath and blood, a shimmering echo of the field from which all things arise. You were not born to be at war with your biology. You were born to listen to it, to live through it, to awaken inside it. Your cells are not silent. They are singing the story you tell them. Your heart is not mechanical. It is intelligent, radiant, alive. Your brain is not a prison of thought. It is a bridge to the infinite. You are not the result of random chemistry. You are the convergence of intention, energy, and soul. A conscious waveform collapsed into form, remembering itself breath by breath. Modern science now touches the edges of what mystics have always known. That the healer is not found in the world, but awakened from within. That the body is not a shell, but a sanctuary. That every organ, every cell, every beat of your heart is a note in the symphony of spirit. So walk wisely. Breathe intentionally. Speak to your body with reverence. Because your biology is not broken, it is brilliant. And beneath every symptom is a signal, a whisper, a memory of light. You are not separate from your healing. You are the healing, and your body, it remembers.